the end of the day, what connects us? We all have our feet on the earth. The earth doesn't care what sex we are. The earth doesn't care how much money we make or what school we get to or what sexual preference or what political preference we are. All the earth cares is that we connect and we take care of it. And through taking care of the energy of our planet, we start learning about taking care of ourselves. And it's really that simple. There's nothing more or less. And so what we found is that, for example, this amethyst, people might say this is for intuition or this and that, but what this amethyst does for me might be something completely different for Timmy. But it's really about just helping you get grounded so that you can remember who you are in that moment, which could be something different next month.
What we found is this is your new mind. Like coming from here rather than here, or connecting the two is really important. And it's hard to tap into that because we're hardened by the daily events of our life, and it's our protective shield. And what happens is the heart gets protected, and then the vulnerability is not there, and then you forget to feel. And so, like Heather said, the tools, by wearing them, having them around you in your environment, help get that back open again.
This is what I learned about myself last week, and it was brutal. I learned that I'm a spiritual hoarder, and I'm not proud of it. It was weird. I could get rid of books. I could go, does this give me joy? No, it doesn't. And, get rid of my closet, whatever. But when it came to a Ganesha or a spiritual book or any of these things, I couldn't let go. And I mean, I'm embarrassed about it, but at least I think the first thing is being aware of it. And so this has been an interesting week for me personally with the moon and what's going on, and my husband coming out of the closet with himself saying, yeah, you're a spiritual hoarder. I've been wanting to talk to you about it. I walk into our house every day. I feel like the spiritual A-team is here. And you know what? It's time for them to leave for a while because there's so much stuff everywhere. It's too much. Like I went to go make food the other day and steamed vegetables, and I went outside and you have crystals in all of our steamers. I mean, come on, give me a break. Let's just get it together here. And so, it's true. And I went outside again today, and they're still there. But some things never are going to change. The bottom line is that I know for me right now is that even after doing this for 26 years. I still got work to do because I know that when I'm okay with me inside, where I'm overloading on tools, and now I need to start letting go, because when we get to the point where we don't need any tools, we know we're okay, but then maybe we'll be underground. You know what I mean? So right now for me, my journey is to start going, okay, do I really need 20 Ganeshas? It's okay. Download it. But see, the Ganesh meant, oh my God, this is my first breakthrough. How am I going to get rid of getting the obstacles in my house? How am I going to psychologically believe that, you know what, it's not, that I'm okay. And so that's the other layer of the onion. You know what I mean? And so it's a great question. And I think we go through those times where we have breakthrough. And for me, it's the lesson right now is that letting go. And this is the work of a spiritual journey, is that you go to work every single day. You don't have a day off. There's no weekends. You know what I mean? You go up against yourself every single day where you could just go, you know what? I'm okay. I could let go of that and I'm still gonna be okay. So anyway, that's what I've learned in the last, week. So.
Well, I just find sometimes I just have to, it's gonna be okay. It's the breath. I just have to take a couple of minutes to just collect myself, wherever that is, however that is, and connecting to that. I use the crystals too. What's interesting is I didn't really get into this business as the spiritual seeker. That's not what I'm about at all. And so I think that's why we're a good yin and yang. I'm more of, I like to learn it through osmosis. So Heather shared something with me after her 20,000 hours of researching it. And I'm like, great, you've already done what you think is great. I'm going to try that. And then I'll tweak it to make sense for me. And she does research things to the nth degree. And I totally honor that because that's not how I am. I'm going to live it. I'm going to delve through this and it's going to feel good or not, and I'm going to keep what feels good to me, and then I'm going to throw it into my toolbox. But I try to do at least 3 things, because if you go and you're like, I've got to do all this stuff, it's overwhelming, then you don't do anything. And then it's almost like it's the worst outcome you could ever have. So I don't know. I think, like Heather said, it is a constant journey. It's not rainbows and unicorns. People think like, oh, I'm going to be on the spiritual journey and I'm going to be shining and glowing. No, some days you're down. You're so down, you're in your bed with the covers over your head because you're like, I just learned something about myself or someone that I loved. That's the truth. And I got to deal with this. How am I going to deal with it? And so again, going back to crystals, crystals are our modality. We've been doing this for almost close to 17 years, and it wasn't honestly until just about a year and a half ago that I even completely connected with the crystals, and I love them, and it was to a different level. So that was a really cool awakening for me because it took what I do here to another level that I can share with people.
To feel is to heal. And I see my kids, and they're so much more evolved than I ever was. Things that come out of their mouth, it's just like, wow, you guys are so light years ahead of us. And I think it's just about having people open up their hearts to feel, to just, and you know what? Sometimes feeling doesn't always feel good, and that's okay. What we're doing is, as we've known what it feels like to close off, to have too many boundaries, and what that gives you doesn't really give you an expanded life, a rich life. And so maybe for us, I think our legacy is that sometimes the richness is not just in the light, it's in the shadow side too. It's in that side that in our society, we're not always told. It's okay to look at those parts because it exists, whether you don't want to see it or not. So embrace the whole part of yourself. Don't divide, because it's the whole that brings you who you are.